男性の心の奥に秘められた真実があります。彼らが本当に恋をするのは、あなたが想像しているものとは全く違うかもしれません。静かな雨の夜、窓辺に座り、あなたは考えたことがありますか？なぜ彼はあなたの何に惹かれたのか、そして彼の心の奥底で何が起きているのか。今日は心理学の巨匠カール・グスタフ・ユングの洞察を通じて男性の愛の真理の謎に迫ります。表面的な魅力の向こう側にある深い心理的真実を探求していきましょう。男性が本当に恋をするのは女性の外見ではなく、彼女が彼の内側で目覚めさせるものである。ユングのこの深遠な洞察は、多くの女性が見落としている愛の真実を明らかにしています。あなたは男性があなたの何に本当に惹かれているのか知っていますか？日本にはという美しい概念がありますね。二人の魂が引き寄せられる神秘的な力。しかしユングの視点からすれば、この縁の正体は実は男性の内側にあるアニマ内なる女性性が外部の女性に投影されたものかもしれません。つまり彼があなたに見ているのは、実は彼自身の魂の一部なのです。男性は自分のアニマ内なる女性的側面を体現する女性に恋をする。これがユングの最も革命的な洞察の一つです。男性の無意識にはアニマと呼ばれる女性的部分が存在し、それが彼の愛と魅力の感覚を形作ります。彼があなたに強く惹かれるとき、それはあなたが彼のアニマと共鳴しているからかもしれないのです。しかし、多くの女性はこの深い心理的プロセスに気づいていません。彼女たちは自分の外見、知性、または性格の特定の側面が男性を引きつけていると思い込んでいます。しかし実際にはもっと深く、もっと神秘的な何かが働いているのです。男性が最も深く惹かれるのは、彼の内なる未知の部分への入り口となる女性である。この洞察は、なぜ男性がしばしば自分とは異なるタイプの女性に魅了されるのかを説明しています。彼女は彼の意識が発達させていない側面、感情的な深さ、直感、神秘性を体現しているのかもしれません。ユングは原型、アーキタイプという概念を提唱しました。これは集合間と無意識に存在する普遍的なイメージやパターンです。男性の愛の真理において特に重要なのが女神、魔女、娘などの女性の原型です。男性が女性に惹かれるとき、彼は無意識のうちにこれらの原型をその女性に投影しているのかもしれません。男性は自分の影、シャドウ、認めたくない側面を受け入れてくれる女性に深く惹かれる。これはユングの影の概念に基づく重要な洞察です。男性は社会的に強く理性的であることを求められますが、誰もが内側に弱さ、感情、傷つきやすさを持っています。これらの側面を安全に表現できる空間を提供する女性に、男性は深い愛着を感じるのです。日本のわびさびの美学、不完全さ、無常、不完全さの中に美を見出す考えは、男性の愛の真理にも通じるものがあります。完璧さよりも、あなたの性や賭けこそが、実は彼の心に最も深く響くかもしれないのです。なぜなら、それらは彼自身の内なる傷と共鳴するからです。男性が最も惹かれるのは、彼のペルソナ、社会的仮面ではなく、本当の自分を見てくれる女性である。ユングは、ペルソナという概念を通じて、私たちが社会に向けて示す仮面について語りました。多くの男性は、社会的期待に応えるために様々な仮面をかぶっています。その仮面の下の本当の彼を見て、受け入れてくれる女性に、男性は深い安心感と愛を感じるのです。松の木が風に揺れるように、男性の愛は固定されたものではなく、流動的なプロセスです。彼が最初にあなたに惹かれる理由と、長期的な関係の中で深く愛する理由は、全く異なるかもしれません。表面的な魅力は時間とともに変化しますが、魂レベルでの共鳴はより深く、より持続的なものとなります。 ユングは個性化というプロセスを重視しました。これは自分の全体性、光も影も含めた全体を受け入れる旅です。男性は無意識のうちに自分の個性化の旅を助けてくれる女性を求めています。あなたが彼の中の未発達の側面、感情、直感、関係性への開放性を育む存在となるとき、それは単なる魅力を超えた深い絆となるのです。竹は空洞だからこそ美しい音を奏でる。同様に男性は自分の内側の空白や賭けを補完してくれる女性に惹かれます。これは単なる足りないものを求める執着ではなく、むしろ全体性への深い渇望なのです。二人で一つの全体を形成するような関係性は男性の無意識が最も深く求めるものなのです。男性が真に惹かれるのは彼の魂の成長を促す女性である。この深い真理はしばしば見落とされています。外見的な魅力や社会的ステータスを超えて、男性の無意識は彼をより良い、より全体的な人間へと導いてくれる女性を求めているのです。男性は自分の母親イメージと関連する女性に無意識のうちに惹かれることがある。ユングは幼少期の母親との関係が後の恋愛パターンに大きな影響を与えると考えました。これは単に母親に似た女性を求めるという単純なものではなく、むしろ母親との関係で形成された愛の型が無意識のうちに後の選択に影響するということです。日本の木漏れ日のように木々の間から差し込む柔らかな光のように、男性の心を最も深く照らすのはあなたの優しさかもしれません。しかしこの優しさは単なる従順さや献身ではありません。それは彼の弱さを受け入れながらも彼の成長を促す強さを持った優しさなのです。ユングは共時性、意味のある偶然の一致について語りました。男性があなたに強く惹かれるとき、それは単なる偶然や物理的魅力を超えたより深い魂の認識かもしれません。私たちはどこかで会ったことがあるという不思議な感覚、それは現世での初めての出会いかもしれませんが、魂のレベルではより深いつながりを感じているのかもしれません。男性が最も惹かれるのは彼のアニマ発達の現在の段階と共鳴する女性である。ユングはアニマ発達の4段階について語りました。初期段階では主に本能的、肉体的な魅力に惹かれますが、発達するにつれて感情的つながり、精神的成長、そして最終的には知恵との結合を求めるようになります。あなたが彼のアニマ発達の現在の段階と、そして次の段階への移行を助けるとき、それは深い魅力と結びつきを生み出します。水面に映る月をつかもうとするように、男性の愛はしばしば捉えどころのないものです。それは彼自身も完全には理解していない無意識からの呼びかけかもしれません。あなたが彼の中に呼び覚ます何か、それは彼の意識的な好みや態度とは異なるかもしれないのです。ユングは心理的投影のメカニズムについて詳しく研究しました。私たちは自分自身の認識していない側面を他者に投影する傾向があります。男性があなたに強い魅力を感じるとき、それは彼自身の未認識の側面があなたに投影されている可能性があります。これは幻想ではなく、むしろ自己発見の重要なプロセスなのです。桜の花が風に舞うように、男性の愛はしばしば予測不可能で神秘的なものです。彼自身もなぜあなたに強く惹かれるのかを完全に理解していないかもしれません。それは論理や理性を超えた魂からの呼びかけなのです。日本の物の哀れの概念、儚さの中に見出される深い美のように、愛の神秘性こそがその美しさの一部なのかもしれません。男性が本当に求めているのは彼の内なる対立を癒す女性である。ユングは人間の心の中にあるさまざまな対立、理性と感情、強さと弱さ、光と闇について語りました。男性は無意識のうちにこれらの対立を調和させ、統合するのを助けてくれる女性を求めているのです。あなたが 愛をもたらします。男性は自分の内なる子供を理解し、受け入れてくれる女性に深く惹かれる。ユングは内なる子供という原型について語りました。これは私たちの心の中に存在する傷つきやすく好奇心旺盛で純粋な部分です。多くの男性は社会的期待のためにこの内なる子供を抑圧しています。あなたが彼のこの側面、遊び心、脆弱性、純粋な喜びを安全に表現できる空間を提供するとき、それは深い愛着と信頼を生み出すのです。日本のの概念、物事の間の空間は関係性の深い真実を表しています。男性が最も惹かれるのは、実はあなたの存在そのものではなく、あなたとの間に生まれる共有された空間、エネルギー、可能性なのかもしれません。あなたが彼と共に作り出す魔の質が彼の心を最も深く動かすのです。男性の無意識は彼の意識的な態度とは逆のものを求める。これはユングの保証の法則です。外面的には強く理性的でコントロールを求める男性は無意識のレベルでは柔らかさ、感情的な深さ、そして時に導かれることを渇望しているかもしれません。あなたが彼の意識的なペルソナとは異なる側面に触れるとき、それは彼の無意識の渇望と共鳴するのです。ユングは原型的なイメージの力について語りました。男性の心の中には様々な女性の原型的イメージ、例えば癒して、導きて、霊感を与える存在が存在します。あなたがこれらの原型と共鳴するとき、それは単なる個人的な魅力を超えた、より普遍的で深い魅力となります。それは彼の魂が認識する古代からの知恵のようなものなのです。竹林の中の一本の竹のように、日本の美学では個性と調和のバランスが重視されます。同様に男性は自分の個性を尊重しながらも、より大きな調和の中に自分を位置づけることを助けてくれる女性に惹かれます。あなたが彼の独自性を称えながらも、より大きな全体とのつながりを思い出させるとき、それは深い安心感と愛を育むのです。男性が真に惹かれるのは、彼の自己、セルフとのつながりを強めてくれる女性である。ユングにとって自己とは、意識と無意識の両方を含む心の全体性を表す概念でした。男性は無意識のうちに自分の自己とのつながりを深めることを助けてくれる女性を求めています。あなたが彼の表面的な成功や失敗を超えて彼の本質的な価値を見るとき、それは彼の魂に深く響くのです。ユングは魂の伴侶という概念について独自の解釈を持っていました。それは単なるロマンチックな幻想ではなく、互いの個性化の旅を支え合う関係性のことです。男性が最も深いレベルで求めているのは、彼の成長と変容の旅に伴走してくれるパートナーなのです。あなたが彼の成長を支え、時に挑戦し、常に真実を映し出す鏡となるとき、それは表面的な魅力を超えた深い絆となります。水が器の形をとるように、男性の愛はあなたとの関係の中で形をとります。それは固定された何かではなく、二人の間で常に進化し、変化し、深まっていくプロセスなのです。あなたが彼との関係の中で柔軟さ、適応力、そして成長への意欲を示すとき、それは彼の心の最も深い部分に響くのです。ここまでの探求から、男性が本当に惹かれるものは単なる外見や性格の特徴を超えた、より深い心理的、精神的な共鳴であることが明らかになりました。では、この理解をどのように実生活に生かすことができるでしょうか。まず、自分自身の神聖さを大切にしましょう。男性を引きつけるために何かになろうとするのではなく、むしろ自分自身の全体性、光も影も含めた全体を受け入れることが重要です。ユングは、個性化とは自分自身になることであると教えています。 あなたが本来の自分自身であるとき、それは男性の無意識に最も深く響くのです。自分のアニムスを理解することは、より深い関係性への鍵である。女性にもアニムスと呼ばれる内なる男性性が存在します。自分のアニムスを理解し、健全な関係を築くことで、外部の男性との関係もより健全で充実したものになります。日記、夢分析、創造的表現などを通じて、自分の内なる男性性と対話してみてください。日本のわびさびの精神、不完全さの中に美を見出す姿勢を関係性にも取り入れましょう。完璧な関係性や完璧なパートナーを求めるのではなく、お互いの不完全さの中に成長と美を見出す視点を育てるのです。これは男性が無意識のうちに求めている、より深い需要と理解の形なのです。男性の投影を鵜呑みにしない、初期の強い魅力は、しばしば投影に基づいています。健全な関係性のためには、お互いが徐々にこれらの投影を引き戻し、相手の真の姿を見ることが必要です。これは時に幻滅をもたらすかもしれませんが、より深く、より本物のつながりへの道でもあるのです。ユングは対話の重要性を強調しました。これは単なる会話ではなく、より深いレベルでの交流を意味します。あなたの本当の思い、感情、夢、恐れを共有し、同時に彼のそれらに対して開かれた心を持つこと。この真の対話を通じて、表面的な魅力を超えた深い絆が育まれるのです。松の木は風に揺れることを恐れないように、関係性においても柔軟性と強さのバランスを保つことが大切です。あなた自身の中心に根ざしながらも、変化と成長に開かれていること。この姿勢は男性の無意識が深く求める安定の中の変化という矛盾した欲求に応えるものです。最後に、関係性は互いの個性化の旅のためのコンテナであるというユングの視点を心に留めておきましょう。最も深く満足のいく関係性とは、お互いが自分自身になるプロセスを支え合うものです。あなたが彼の成長を支え、同時に彼があなたの成長を支えるとき、それは単なる恋愛を超えた魂のパートナーシップとなるのです。桜の花が風に舞うように、関係性の美しさは、その儚さと永続性の間の緊張にあります。瞬間の美しさを深く味わいながらも、執着せず、自然な流れに身を任せること。この姿勢は、日本の無常の美学とユングの個性化の哲学の両方に共鳴するものです。男性が本当に惹かれるものについてのこの探求が、あなたの関係性をより深く、より充実したものにする助けとなりますように。それは単なる魅力や恋愛テクニックの問題ではなく、むしろ自己理解と魂の成長のためなのです。この旅の中で、あなたは表面的な関係性を超えた、より深い絆を見出すことができるでしょう。もしこの動画があなたの心に響いたなら、ぜひコメント欄であなたの経験や気づきをシェアしてください。そして、より深い自己探求と関係性の理解への旅を続けるために、チャンネル登録をお願いします。次回は、あなたの内なる男性性と女性性のバランス、ユングの視点からについて探求します。あなたの内なる旅が、今日ここから始まるかもしれません。
When you realize that you've already done the calling, you've already done the asking, that's not the problem. You've asked, step 1 has happened, and step 2 has happened too. You've asked and it is given. It has been given. It is vibrationally done. And sometimes you say, often you say, well, big deal with the vibrational doneness, because it's not done until I can spend it, okay? It's not done until I can lick it. I want the manifestation of it. I want the reality of it. And we say, we want that for you too, because that's the confirmation of your perfect alignment. But meanwhile, there are a lot of things that are coming into beingness that you could be taking enormous pleasure from. if you would allow yourself to understand the process of creation. So step one is contrast causes you to ask for it, and when you do, you launch a rocket of desire that is a little foreign to you because it was born out of your awareness of contrast, often out of your clear awareness of what you don't want. When you know what you don't want, you always know more clearly what you do want, don't you? So you have this request that has been going and going and going and going. In fact, your vortex had a pretty good thing going before you even came into this physical body. And now you're here in this physical body, you are adding to that vortex all day, every day, and you have amassed a veritable fortune of well-being, abundance on all levels, vibrationally, here for you. And Source, that larger part of you that was you before you came into this physical body, that is you even though you're in this physical body, that other vibrational part of you, who is always collecting the best of that which you've become and holding the vibrational light of that, holding it steady so that you can feel your way to it. That non-physical part of you stands in your vortex in complete vibrational alignment, already having become the full vibrational fruition of everything that you've been asking for. In other words, there is a part of you who stands as the culmination of all that you have lived, who is beaming a signal to you all day, every day, that you can feel your resonance with or not. When you feel eager, you're right there in alignment. When you feel love or in love, you're right there in alignment. In your appreciation, you're right there, tuned in, tapped in, turned on. No resistance whatsoever in your vibration, vibrating at the same frequency of that pure positive energy that is you. And in that beingness, as you are looking into your world, fully enveloped with that source energy, you are then seeing the world through the eyes of Source, and everyone who stands as the object of your attention benefits by your connection to this Source energy. It's exactly the way you knew you would be. Not in every moment, because you said, I'll go forth and I'll explore contrast. I don't want a feathered nest. I don't want someone else figuring it all out for me. I want my personal preferences to count for something. I want my unique, important, extraordinary, unique, important, I want my unique, my special, my important, my unique perspective to matter. I want to give birth to my rockets of desire. And I know, you said, that when I do, that the resources that create worlds, that the energy that creates worlds will flow toward my rocket of desire. And then you said, you knew so clearly, we're here to remind you again. I have but one thing to do. Once I've done the natural, inevitable, can't stop doing it all day, every day, launching of desire. And once Source has done what it always does, come into full vibrational alignment with what I've become part, then you said, my part will be the allowing part. I will practice the art of allowing. I will get so good at allowing. I will feel my way to it because I will understand that my emotions tell me aligned, resisted, allowing, not, tuned in, tapped in, turned on, not. In other words, you can tell by the way you feel what your in this moment proximity is to the Source within you. So once you show yourself actively your own guidance, once you stand in any moment in time and you say, here I am, and Source, I know you have an opinion about this child that I'm looking at, and you feel yourself welled up with appreciation, you can feel that your opinion, your approach, your perception right here, right now is so in sync with the Source within you that you are full of the completion of that which is Source. That's what positive emotion is. The better you feel, the more you are completing or allowing the extension of Source right here and now in this moment in time. And the worse you feel, the more your desire to be that is, but the more you are disallowing it, you see. And there are people maybe clamoring around saying, hey, life isn't good, life isn't good, life isn't good, life isn't good. But I don't hear them. I'm not in the vibrational vicinity of them. I'm living pure positive energy. I'm living life in the way that I came forth to live and standing as example of well-being to others. And when others come into my experience, maybe they were born into my family, maybe I was born to them, maybe I married one of them, maybe I go to school with one of them, somebody's clamoring in a vibration that doesn't feel so good. They're saying, hey, you, what have you got your head in the clouds? What are you so happy about? You should be down here with us, living life in the reality that we all live. You should be sifting and sorting through the stuff of life, and you should be perceiving life more as we perceive it. And we say, you can't perceive other than you perceive. And when you tune yourself to the frequencies of well-being is what will be revealed to you everywhere you go. If we were standing in your physical shoes, we would no longer sift and sort the piles of manifestation. We would spend all of our conscious awareness in looking for the best feeling thought that we could find. We would tune ourselves constantly to the frequency that allows well-being. And we would stand as an example of that, so that when those who see us, they would understand that we are living the well-being that we have been talking about, teaching through the clarity of example as best you can. And you never get it done. You never get it done, and you cannot get it wrong. And the reason that you cannot get it wrong is because it is never done. So let's say you're standing in a place and you don't feel so good. And with good reason. Something happened. You looked at it. It hurt your feelings. You're out of whack. The very fact that you can feel negative emotion means there is a love right now that you are denying. You couldn't feel pain if love were not there. Don't you like knowing that? If there were not love that is more right for you and more available to you, you would never feel loneliness. Loneliness only exists because you're denying yourself the alignment with what you want. You're getting this. This is a conversation that could go on for hours and hours and hours, because there are so many facets to the environment in which you live, and so many premises that people are presenting from. And there's a whole lot that people are saying about non-physical that is so far from what it really is. You are more than you see in these bodies. You are source energy extended out here. But even when you are here looking into your physical format, more than the you that you think is looking. There's a source energy part of you always looking with you, through you, with you. So in every moment in time that you are having a conversation, this larger source energy part of you is there in the conversation. And you can tell by the way you feel how intertwined you are vibrationally, how resonant you are with the whole of you. Or you can feel, through your emotions, how much of who you really are you're pinching off because of your current opinion. Now, your opinions are really valid. They are. They're important. And we're not for a moment suggesting that you should come and be a puppet on a string where source just flows through you and does all your thinking for you. But we would like to explain to you how you intended it when you made the decision to come. And as you decide to deliberately apply your awareness that you are a vibrational being, that you are an extension of source energy, the source energy is flowing to you and through you at all times, that you have guidance within you that lets you know how much of that you are allowing in any moment or how much of that you are resisting. As you begin to focus upon these very few premises that are law-based, that are universal, and begin to deliberately apply them from your point of knowing, it is our promise to you that your then deliberate approach to life will be delicious. And you will never again be confused about how things are coming to you. You won't be confused about your life, and you won't be confused about anybody else's life. And you won't be asking law of attraction or anything else to be an arbitrary judge of you and everyone else. You won't be asking the impossible things that so many humans are asking, which is, let's just bang around together and let's manifest all over the place, wanted and unwanted, and then let's find some judge who is standing outside of us to evaluate the rightness or the wrongness of our behavior or of our creation or of our attraction, and then we will try to mimic whatever the Great One decides is the right way to live. And we say nothing like that is anything close to what you knew when you made the decision to come into this time-space reality, because you knew that you are source energy, and you knew that you would be coming forth into a variety of contrast that would stimulate within you a constant new awareness of improvement. New desire would be born all day, every day within you. We call that step one of this creative process. Contrast causes you to ask. You can't stop it. Don't try. Every moment of the day, there is something new that is occurring to you that would be an improved condition. That's what the evolution of all species is about. And when you go with the flow of that, rather than bucking the idea of it, things will begin getting easier for you immediately. You can't stop becoming. So step one causes you to ask all day, every day. When you get into a sleeping room that does not have enough closets, it makes you ask for more closets. Now, they're not going to show up today, not in most cases. But your asking puts that request into what we are calling a vibrational reality. This vibrational reality, this vortex of vibration. Our human friends sometimes do not like our depiction of this vibrational reality because it's vibrational, and unless you are in the frequency of it, you can't translate it into reality. It's a vibrational reality, so it's a future manifestation for you. And we love you very much, but you are rather, we love you very much, impatient. We love you very much about those future manifestations. You sort of kind of want things that you want, and you want them now. Because in many cases, the reason you want them is because you believe you will feel better in the having of it. In other words, if I had that now, then I would feel good. But since I don't have it, I don't feel so good, and I'm justified in not feeling so good because I don't have this thing that I want. And so I'm going to stand in this place of not feeling so good because I want that thing that I do not have, and I think that someone should make it available to me, even though I'm offering a vibration that prevents it from coming to me. Someone should call someone. Someone should call someone. There should be someone somewhere powerful enough to make it all right for me, even though I'm offering a vibration that prevents it from coming. Still, someone should call someone. There are a lot of realities that are being lived in this physical time-space reality, and there are not two of you who are perceiving identically. So what humans are commonly doing with each other is that you yearn so much, you do. You yearn for someone to understand your perspective. And we want you to cut that out, because very often you are training yourself away from your own guidance system. You're training yourself away from your own expansion. And the more life causes you to expand, and the more you train yourself away from that expansion, the more uncomfortable you feel. And so, let us say this to you. We have never seen any of you pick up anything that has been written, created, produced by any other human that was in every case a perfect vibrational match to you and what's in your vortex. That isn't the premise that you came forth into this physical body. You didn't say, I'll go forth and I'll find the right path and I'll get with the right pack and we'll travel in the right circles and we'll say and do the right things. That isn't what you said. You said, I'll go forth and I'll mix it up and I will come to my individual awarenesses, because you have become who you've become before you came into this physical body. There was already plenty in your vortex that lets you know who you are. You are a lover. You were when you got here. And the first day that you found a reason to hate someone, you felt the discord of that hate. Because the source within you, no matter how justified you think you are in the pushing against of that injustice or that thing that you did not want to see, the source within you will not join you in that hatred, you see. We want you to know that you are unlimited. We want you to know that you are asking scantily with what is available to you. In other words, don't be shy about asking. But this is the most important thing. Your vortex is filled with details that you've put there incrementally. You, like most people, have put all of these things into your vortex in an incremental fashion. And since they've been there, they've been gathering cooperative components. They have, you might say, taken on a life of their own. They have, you might say, gathered other positive aspects to them. They have, you might say, gathered momentum. And if you were to look, you might not recognize them because you've been putting them there incrementally. So sometimes we like to say, in fact, we say it all the time, that one of the wonderful things about getting into this sweet spot of alignment is that as thoughts occur to you, there are continuing surprises and delights for you. So what we are saying to you is The reason that you want to know what's there is because you don't know that you can see it. And we want you to know that it's all right that you can't see it, because it's everything that you want, and it's become more, and it is going to occur to you. You're going to be the realizer of it. It is revealing itself to you continually, but you will be the realizer of it. And so, how does someone ready themselves to be able to see what's in the vortex? Well, you take pieces of things that you know you like, and you talk about them steadily with the interest of gathering momentum. You take a subject of importance, and you don't try to make it more than it is, and you don't try to make yourself believe it more than you do. You just take something that you already believe, that already makes you feel good, and you focus upon that until momentum begins. And you can feel yourself then, literally, following this stream of impulses and thoughts that come to you. It's like a treasure hunt. But the thing that is most interesting about it is that you have put all of the treasures there. You just don't recognize them in their current form. And the reason that you don't recognize them in their current form is because they have amassed with the other things that you've asked for. And law of attraction has gathered the other cooperative components to them. And in the process of all of that, they have become so much more. So the question is, as your desires have been in the process of being tended by your inner being and have become so much more, what are you then doing along the way? Are you talking against yourself? Are you wondering why things aren't happening? You want to find just anything that is easy for you to feel free-flowing and joyful about. And just for a little while, give that your undivided attention. And then what happens, you get into that receiving mode where impulses begin to occur to you, and then wonderful things unfold. Then, if something that contradicts it comes to mind, now, if you continue to think about it, as in working or efforting, then you introduce a momentum going in the other direction. We've been offering a new analogy recently where life causes you to know what you want, and so you launch this rocket of desire. And so, just for a visual analogy, imagine that as you did that, you put a big, strong engine of desire on your train. And if you do nothing else about it, hear this, if you never think about it again, that engine will move in the direction of your desire and bring you the manifestation that you seek. Didn't know it was that easy, did you? And the reason that you didn't know it was that easy is because you got the engine going, and then you worried about it, and you put an equally powerful engine on the other end of the train going in the opposite direction. Now imagine what that means. I want it, but I don't believe it. So now you've got two thoughts moving in opposition to each other, and you're not going anywhere. So now what you usually do, we love you so much, you live more contrast, which causes you to put another engine, another desire engine. So now you start moving that way, and then you get really logical, and you get focused upon what is, and now you're focused in opposition. So now you have powerful engines pulling against each other, and you're not going anywhere. So now it seems logical that if you would just not think about these engines that are going in opposition to what you want, that then your desire would carry you. And so the key is, if it feels good, think about it. And when you start getting tense about it, don't think about it. It feels counterintuitive to many of you because you've been trained by your society and your civilization and your parents to work hard, that it takes effort. But the thing about that is that when the impulse to try harder, when the impulse to apply effort, when the impulse to dig in comes to you, it's because you've got resistance going on and the effort doesn't help. And so trust that you've already put it in the vortex and trust that it is in the process of becoming. And then think only about things that feel good to you. Just think only about what feels good to you. Because when you think about the things you want that aren't happening yet, you're thinking about the things that aren't happening yet, and that's what you're adding emphasis to. So here's the way we like to explain this. You could have 5 things that matter to you. 5 important things. 4 of them not going so well yet in terms of manifestation, going really well in terms of the vortex, in there growing, expanding, inner being reveling. But as far as you're concerned, 4 things not going that well, 1 thing going well. If you could focus only upon the 1 thing going well, then you would establish and maintain a vibrational frequency that would be receptive mode, and the other 4 things could then begin turning thoughts to things. It's like if you want to toast your bread, it helps if you plug the toaster in. And if you don't plug the toaster in, it doesn't matter how beautiful it is, or how often you shine it, or how many of them you have. So whatever it takes to plug the toaster in is what we're talking about. And you know you've got it plugged in because you feel exhilaration, you feel happy, you feel good. And the more you focus upon what makes you feel good, then the more momentum you gather about that. And the more momentum, the more established the connection. This is a wired microphone. Esther loves this wired microphone. This wired microphone is sure. The other microphones usually work, but they're not sure. So you gotta plug in to your microphone in order to hear what's being broadcast to you, or to transmit in a way that is meaningful, that is one who is connected to this stream of energy is more powerful than a million who are not. So why would you spend any time doing anything other than plugging in? So your friends say, what are you doing? Plugging in. What does that mean? It means I'm getting happy. You got your work done? Nope. What are you going to do about your work? Nothing. Well, I'm doing my work. My work is to get plugged in. What do you mean? Be happy. But don't you have work to do? Nope. Well, I just have a little bit of work. That's to get plugged in. Because I already did step 1, you could tell them. Don't bother, because they won't get it. But I already did step 1. I already did the work. I was born, I saw, I wanted. That's my work. That's my work. And every day I get to add more to that. I am expanding at rapid rate. I'm expanding. My desire is expanding. That's my work. Step 1, it's done. Step 2 is done. Step 2, law of attraction, my inner being gathered all of the cooperative components and it's ready for me. What are you doing? Plugging in. Plugging into what? Getting into the receptive mode. What? Into the receptive mode so that I can feel the impulse. So that I know when to get in my car and go somewhere. So I know when to place a phone call. So I know when the impulse comes to say that thing that the impulse has given to me. What else are you doing? Not anything else. Not anything else. Waiting for the impulse. Now, your employers may not appreciate our encouragement to you, but it is our promise to you that if you accept that you have put things in your vortex and that they are big and beautiful and ready for you, and that the more playful you are and the more happy you are and the more in love you are and the more easy you are and the more free feeling you are and the more happy you are, the more often you will be plugged in, and then you will feel the momentum increase until there will be an energy around you that just attracts to you, not just occasionally and not just at the end of the trail, but all the way along, impulses and guidances to rendezvous with things that surprise and delight you all the way along. And yes, the manifestation will come too. And when it does, you'll say, oh, hello, I recognize you. I've been finding pieces of you all along my trail. And I'm so happy to see you. What now? And as you jump in to the realization and the eating up of this new manifestation, you know what? You're back in step one again. Because there's going to be new contrast there that's going to put more into the vortex. So you're not ever going to get it done. And you cannot ever get it wrong. Do you know? I want to tell you something really important. Your inner being never looks back. And when humans do, you're usually justifying where you're standing. That's usually the reason for looking back. But your inner being doesn't look back. Your inner being knows where you are in relationship to everything you want and is looking forward. And so when you're in sync with your inner being, those are the impulses that you feel. Step one, step two, step three. You know what step four is? Being really good at step three. The reason that step four is such a good step, even though it's exactly like step three, it's just better at it, is because it's the consistency that is necessary before the thought can really get enough momentum going that you get the idea, and that when you get it, you don't kill it with your doubt. So when you get it, you just revel in it. You think about it, you feel it, you talk about it, but you don't need it to manifest right now. That's what kills your desires most quickly. You get the idea of them, and then right away, you want to jump into action before there's enough momentum to carry you. And so when you jump into action before there's enough momentum to carry you, what happens is you have to apply more action, and then you get exhausted because you're trying to compensate for what you didn't do with something that doesn't work anyway. Don't try to compensate for not plugging in with action, because it just makes you tired, and it causes you to build a foundation of beliefs that just piles more engines on the resistant end of the train. Makes perfect sense to you, doesn't it? And so, are you looking for problems, or are you on the hunt for solutions? Can you find an answer if there isn't a question? And can you discover the thrill of a solution if there isn't a reason for a solution? Step 5 is being back in step 1 and not being mad at yourself. Step 5 is understanding the importance of the contrast and not looking at it as a failure, knowing that if you don't ask the question, there can't be an answer, and if you don't see a problem, there can't be a solution, and if you don't know what you don't want, you don't know what you do want. In other words, it is so important, this contrast that helps you focus. There is always value in the contrast, no matter how it feels to you in the moment. There is great love here for you. And always we remain joyously in your vortex.